Good morning. Happy Friday. I'm so happy it's Friday. I've never been so happy to see Friday.
Sam said hello. Rebecca.
Yeah, okay. So, back to my grandmother. Back to Mama trying to kill me. I mean, it's not that she tried to kill me, per se. It's just that I was 2, okay? And she was in her 60s at this point, which, hey, I'm about to be 60. And I can understand why you might...
Honey, we're out here for you to walk, not for Mommy to carry you, okay? You gotta walk on your walk.
Anyway, I can see how she might forget to provide proper nourishment all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because at 2, you don't really ask for much. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've had a 2-year-old in the house, okay? And that would have been my nephew. And I would have been 20, so I was way better at keeping up with him. But Mom dropped me off. I don't know where the other 3 kids went. But I'm the youngest of 16 grandkids. My grandmother, poor bless her soul, had 5 kids. The first was a set of twins, then a boy, and then 2 more girls, which my mom was the baby, and then 16 grandkids, and I don't know how many great-grandkids. So she was kind of crazy by the time I came along, okay? Mom came back to pick me up, and I was very lethargic, and Mom was like, what's wrong with her? And she was like, I don't know. I don't know. So my mom took me, I don't know if she took me straight to the hospital, to the doctor. I don't know if she took me home to further evaluate. I don't know what happened because I was 2, but I ended up in the hospital on an IV for a few days because I was extremely dehydrated. So I don't remember much of that though, you know. My mom never left me with her again though, so there's that. But now apparently I am the mother, co-mother to a 9-year-old who thinks she's 15 and a 7-year-old who acts like she's 3. So the 3-year-old, I mean the 7-year-old came over Wednesday, and I had the sign on the door.
And she knocked and 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 rang the bell and knocked and knocked.
And I was out back oblivious, pulling weeds in my garden because it was my off day, right? Because I have them set to come every other day. Well, she gets mad and she gets to talking to herself. What she doesn't realize, or didn't realize, is that she's being recorded. So she called me a liar face. Now remember, she has extreme ADHD, which I believe could be on the spectrum to something else. But I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying, by her behavior, it's not typical of just ADHD. But anyway, she called me a liar face. She's standing there fussing, and I'm not making fun of anybody who speaks in tongues, but it sounded like she was talking in tongues because she was talking so fast. Well, y'all, yesterday, she came running over there to me. I'm still sitting in the car, and I opened the door, and I said, hi. And she said, hi. I said, why did you call me a liar face? She said, huh? I said, you knocked on my door and rang my bell last night. I wanna ring your bell. Oh, that's something different. And yeah, you call me a liar face? And then I showed her the video. She said, oops. I had already told her mom about it. I said, and I sent it to your mom. She said, oops. So I showed her the video and I said, why did you call me a liar face? She said, because the sign on the door said your back was hurting. She can't read. I said, no, it said not today. Oh. I said, you may go home now. She took off running home. She came back like an hour later. She knocked on the door. And I said, you can come back at 7 And she said, I just need to tell you something. I said, okay. She said, I'm very sorry. I said, okay. I said, do you know how much I love you? And she said, yes. And I said, and you know that you're supposed to come every other night at 7 o'clock? She said, yes. I said, okay. I'll see you at 7 o'clock. And she said, okay. So I told her mom that, and she was like, she don't want to upset you. She said she's very sensitive. She said, but that ADHD is strong. I was like, oh, it is strong. She was speaking in tongues to me. I don't know what she said. Anyway, and then the 15-year-old who's 9, she comes in and she's like, can you take me to Kell High School? Why? Well, because they're having a thing. I said, well, I mean, your mom has to approve it, but do you have somebody that's going to be with you and bring you back home? She goes, no.
Huh? Squeeze me.
She said, well, I mean, I thought you could stay. I said, no, I'm not going to Kell High School for an hour and a half. It was a parade. She said, but I told all my friends I would be there. I said, well, that's your problem. And she was like, oh. I said, hey, your mom just pulled in the driveway. Why don't you ask her to take you? She said, because she's been at work all day and she's not going to want to. I said, as have I. And actually, my leg is killing me, and I just took a pain pill, so I can't be driving you nowhere anyway. She said, oh. I said, in the future, you need to make plans with the adults in advance and ask for permission. I said, but I can guarantee you I'm not going to go spend an hour and a half at Kell High School so you can watch some parade. Sorry. She turned that frown upside down. And, ooh, mushrooms. These giant mushrooms keep popping up. Focus, Tracy. And she went and made some more of the lime grapes. Well, can I tell you that I had just brushed my teeth, and when I put one of those lime grapes in my mouth, the amount of pucker that came, it like to have killed me. She was laughing so hard my shoulder hurts. But I'm going to turn this around and show y'all these mushrooms. And I took pictures of them the other day in the woods. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. I'll be right back. I believe that's the same thing. My cousin told me what kind of mushroom they are. I can't remember. And that they're edible. I don't think those are those whatever those mushrooms are that people hunt for in Kentucky. I don't think that's them. But they look like a giant hamburger bun, don't they? Okay, so my cousin said they're called hedgehog mushrooms. But then when I tried to look it up under the Google app, it came up as some spore off of an oak tree and said it's not edible. So I don't recommend going out and eating it, okay? I'm just saying, because apparently no one really knows. I don't really care for mushrooms all that much. And the mushrooms, I used to eat mushrooms all the time. I think I got tired of them. But the mushrooms that I do buy are at Publix in a container like they're supposed to be. And I chop them up and I cook them in butter and the renderings from the steak. Yeah, that's how I cook mushrooms. Yeah, renderings and butter and salt and pepper. And they're delicious, but I'm just kind of over mushrooms for a little while because I ate so many. And the other mushrooms I was trying to think of were called morel mushrooms, and Wanelda calls them molly moochers. They're called a lot of different things, I think, but I think morel is the proper name. By the way, I would just like to say that there is no fox. I told the girls, I said, do y'all know that y'all like to have killed me when I got out and ran to try to see this fox? And they both giggled. And I said, it's not funny. I'm too old and too plush. You like that word? I'm too plush to be out running around trying to look at a fox that ain't there. Dadgummit. I mean, it was not outside the realm of possibilities because we've had foxes before, but anyway, it's 2 o'clock and I'm off, thanks be to Jesus. because I got through this day without having to unleash Shirley on someone, okay? Because Shirley was chomping at the bit to come out when I had to call this company, and this lady was so rude. And I told my boss, I said, I would just like to say that I have come a long way since working at that jail, because the old Tracy, Shirley would have come out. She sure would have. But we'll call her Edna. Edna just better be glad. But Mary Frances did come out, which is my grandma, because I was trying to say so. Okay, so let's go way back. First of all, I emailed twice looking for this invoice, and she never sent it to me. And then she sent me a nasty email. Well, she sent it to my boss. A nasty email about your account's overdrawn or overdue or whatever. You owe a payment. And I said, yes, I've emailed twice. I need a copy of the invoice. I can't pay without a copy of the invoice. And then she just writes back, well, who is this Tracy? Me. I'm Tracy, and I am the accounts payable lead, and if you want it paid, I need a copy of the invoice. So after 2.5 months, she finally, it's a word, sends me the invoice. And then I try to contact her to pay it, and then we kept missing each other. And long story short, I finally got in touch with her today. And she was so rude, and I was trying to say something to her, and right in the middle of me saying it, she cut me off and said, I just need the credit card number. I said, this is where Mary Frances stepped out, and I said, well, gosh me. Gosh me. And then as I was reading off the credit card number to her, each number that I read off became a little bit more succinct, terse, angry, if you will. Are y'all proud that I know the word succinct? I did verify that I was saying the correct word. Yeah. Anyway, she made me mad, but I was polite to her. And then the receipt she sent me was not legible, so I had to email her back. And then my boss was like, just write paid on it and don't worry about it, because we don't want to get in a fight with her again. Again? She ain't seen Shirley yet. We ain't been in a fight yet. Ugh. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I've rambled on long enough. So I hope y'all are having a great day. Remember, I love you. Jesus loves you. I hope he's coming back soon, because people be crazy. And I will talk to you on the next Tracy Tries. Toodles, my noodles. Stay silly, my friends, and smile. Piss people off. Make people happy. Or make them wonder what you've been up to. Goodbye.